Tabitha.
And I'm Kevin.
Out here in Hardin County having a peaceful protest such as you've been noticing in Louisville and all over the United States currently. And as you can see here behind us, they're starting to line up.
And this is the square. It's in Elizabethtown, so it's at Dixie and Maine if you want to come out and join us. See, we've got probably 40 or 50 people lined up right now, and I believe we're going to start walking around the square, staying on the sidewalk.
What's going on? Give us a feel of exactly what's going on out here.
I don't think it's a feel of what's going on. I think it's more of an injustice for people around the world. It's not really about a black or white thing. Racism is not real. We're all from Africa. Everybody came from the same thing.
Okay, so
There's no inaccuracy in who's racist and who's not. There's no thing racist. It's all a setup. This is just a ploy to get us all to fight against each other, and we shouldn't be loving each other.
As you're us, we'll move them across, get them out of the way.
Okay.
But if somebody's giving you all problems, let us know.
Okay.
Sergeant Huggins, Brandon, of course he knows Justin. Just the two of us will kind of be around.
Okay, awesome.
Holler at us. I want to introduce you to our mayor.
All right,
Jeff Gregory.
All right, Will Fell.
Appreciate you.
Good meeting you, brother.
This is seriously, this is the right way to do it. We appreciate your all's efforts to not only keep it peaceful. I know I talked to Justin earlier. He had trash cans, wanted to clean up trash afterwards. So what we can do to help in this capacity, I think what it does is it shows the communities around us we know how to do this right.
Hey, I won't keep you very long and take much of your time, but I do want to tell you all that when we heard about Justin putting this together, and we were very excited. And I will tell you, Will, I'm sorry, Will. We were very excited because we like to think that we do things the right way in Elizabethtown. We like to think that we're a shining light for other municipalities and other communities. So I know you've watched on TV some of the things that have gone on in the bigger cities across our country. And those started off the right way, but they didn't end up the right way. And so we want to use this experience in Elizabethtown to show others the right way to do things. We want to let everybody down here know, and everybody across our community, that everybody's important in our community and we support everybody the same. And I want to finally leave you with the thought that if you have a problem with anything that's going on, the best way to talk about those things or to express yourself is through communication. So in city government, I can speak for that on the third floor up there. Anytime you need to talk to somebody or you have something that you wanted to address, I'm always there and our door's open. I just need you to call up there, call me if you have my cell phone personally, and we'll sit down and have any conversation that you want to have. And I also want to tell you that our police department that is here today, there's not a bunch of them, but they're not here because of you all. They're here to make sure that you all have a peaceful assembly, and that's what we want to make sure that we carry out today. So there may be somebody drive by that doesn't like what you're doing and heckles you. If that continues, they'll take care of that. So no, they're here for you, not against you, okay? Because they appreciate you all as well. We have a great police department here, and we're going to make sure that we keep it that way and keep open lines of communication going in our community so we don't have the things that go on other places. I'm very proud of Elizabethtown. I'm very proud of all of you all, and I'm very proud of the opportunity to come down here and talk to you today, and thanks for everything that you do.
All right.
Hey, Beth, you're more than welcome to come up here, but we're gonna try to follow line. If anybody wants anybody the same thing, you're more than welcome. This is gonna be an open forum. Everybody, constructive talking is the best way to build relationships, to talk about it. So if you want to be able to talk, line up right up here. Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm Kevin. Appreciate your introduction to the crowd and emphasizing safety. Do you think Kentucky has a racism problem?
I think everywhere has a racism problem. I think you would be blind if you buried your head in the sand and said that there were places anywhere that didn't have some form of racism. I do like to think that here in Elizabethtown that we've worked really hard not to have those issues, but I think you're wrong to say nowhere has a racism problem.
What do you think about the situation in Louisville? Is it? Do you have a feel for what's causing it? Is it people coming in from out of state?
I really don't know. It's hard for me to speak a little because I haven't spoken to anybody up there, and I don't really have a good feel for what they have going on up there, other than I know that they tried to assemble peacefully initially, and then maybe some of that got out of hand. But to speak on what's going on in another city, that's kind of hard for me to do without
think there's a problem with police brutality in Louisville?
But once again, it's hard for me to speak on that as well. I don't know what their stats are, the different things that go on up there. So I can speak to you about Elizabethtown, but it's hard for me to talk about other municipalities.
Does Elizabethtown have a no-knock policy where if police were going to bust a drug operation, do they knock before they enter, or do they identify themselves?
Based on my experience in the past, there have been very few no-knock warrants that have been served. That's probably a question that would be better for Chief Thompson or for Ron Eckert, who's the director of our narcotics task force. I know there have been some done in the past. It's not something that they try to do or generally do. That usually has to do with some kind of high-risk arrest. But I don't think there's been any large volume of them done around here in a long time. But that's a better question for them.
Okay. Do you think the war on drugs targets people of color more than white people?
I can answer that one just based off of experience. I was a narcotics detective with the state police for about 5 years, about 7, 8, 10 years ago. And I can tell you that as a narcotics detective with the Kentucky State Police, we never looked at a suspect because of their color and decided, hey, we're going to go off of this one. We acted off of information that we got, and wherever that led us, that's where we ended up. Do I think race played a part with the guys that I worked with? I never saw that.
Called to take up arms. Flowers in the face of every victim. We place them there, the rowdy ones. Our voices heard, to be silenced, to be oppressed, and then there's violence. We're encouraged to stand with our brothers and sisters until our eyes bleed and our arms and legs hurt. From holding up signs to police dishing out lies, no, you came at me first. To protect, to protest, to persist. Hands in the air with fingers curled. Together we make a fist. A symbol that can bring us closer and unite us to be what we call a catalyst. I can't breathe, don't shoot please, I am not the one to come forward.
I'm Kevin Strohmeyer.
Hello, Jeremy Thompson.
Hey, Jeremy. Appreciate the commitment that you and the mayor have made to helping this be peaceful, and I think the participants are going to make it peaceful as well. Do you think that Kentucky has a racism problem?
You know, I'll be honest with you. In my role, I don't think it's appropriate to comment on my personal opinions on how that is. I will stick with what I feel is in our community. And I feel like our community, you've seen the leadership displayed, as you mentioned, by our mayor, who's committed to allow this to go on. The same holds true with our department. We have a melting pot of race, ethnicity, and gender at our police department. We certainly will not tolerate racism within our department. I can assure you that. So I will gladly tell you that. I've said I've been here for about a year now as chief, and I said when I took over this position that I think E-Town is unique, that we don't have a lot of the problems societal-wise that you see around us. And that uniqueness is what led me to accept this position and be interested in it. Because where you see protests turn to riots and criminal activity, I'm hoping, and I've seen from our two organizers today that we've been in constant contact with, and they've assured us that's not the message, so that's why we want to support them and have this type of activity.
Right.
So that uniqueness that we have here, that's our hopes, is that spreads throughout not just Kentucky, not through this region, but people can see we know how to do it right here. Look at us. If anybody wants to be the model, we volunteered. We'll be the model on doing it right.
What do you think of the mayor's commitment to safety? Was he full of crap, or was he committed, do you think?
I mean, from the looks of it, so far, so good. They're keeping things well together. He keeps come back saying that they're unique. So maybe, I don't know, if like Louisville and some surrounding places can take away and learn something from this. I don't know, what do you think?
I think I've been in this area for about 20 years, and it's not a terribly racially diverse area. You know, it's largely whites. There are a lot of people from Fort Knox, but they tend to be Europeans and Asians. So maybe not a lot of Black and Latinos in this area. So maybe that's why they feel there's not a problem, because they're not interacting with people that often, with people of color that often.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
How you doing? Tabitha.
I'm Andrew.
Andrew, nice to meet you. What's bringing you out here today?
It's just like the injustice is at such a high alert to me that it's like silence is not really a solution. So like I just feel like standing on and kind of support and also being an example for others to kind of step up and just be a human and have humanity. It's all about being human. It's not really about a color. It's injustice toward human beings. So when people kind of focus on, it's not really a color thing. So like it's not about are you white or are you black. It's a human being is being done wrong, and for you to not say anything is kind of co-signing it or turning the other cheek, which is still not a solution. We hear that a lot growing up. You're not a part of this. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Right.
So silence is a part of the problem. So it's just about speaking out, being an example, and just standing up for what you believe.
Being heard.
Right. And I truly believe in it because and I also have a mixed child. My son's mixed. So
Right. And the majority, a lot of things is that way now.
So like I can only imagine like him growing up in this kind of with being caught in between it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't want that kind of lifestyle for my family or anybody else. So it's a right or wrong thing. It's not a color thing, pretty much, and it's the right thing to do. So I just feel like it's something that I care about.
So we've talked to a couple of politician types, and they seem to think that racism is not an issue here in Elizabethtown. What's your feeling?
Well, we can take that back to common talk. In order to fix a problem, you have to acknowledge it. So if we're saying that there's no racism, then that's not the first step of fixing the problem. So, and also to acknowledge racism, if you're Caucasian, it doesn't mean you're racist because you acknowledge that someone else of your skin color is being racist. Just like every cop's not bad, every black person's not a thug, vice versa. But at the same time, it's just it's a right or wrong thing. At the end of the day, it's just a right or wrong thing. And if you can't acknowledge that racism does exist still, then you're not acknowledging that there's a solution to a problem or that there is a problem, which is a problem.
Are you a resident of Elizabethtown or surrounding county?
Yes, I moved to Hardin County when I was probably like 11, and so I'm pretty familiar with it. And I played football at John Hardin High School, the Blue Grass, and so kind of being familiar with the community. It's kind of far-fetched out there to say racism doesn't exist here. There's some great people here, but there's still some bad apples. And so in order to get rid of the bad apples, the good apples have to acknowledge them. So what I'm saying? It's that kind of situation.
Right. What's bringing you out here today? What's your opinion about what's going on?
Well, actually, my son and his friend is orchestrating it. So I'm just coming out here really to help them to be a voice, to communicate how they're feeling.
Get heard.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
You must be proud of that.
I'm very proud. First I was a little scared, but now I'm like, you go, son.
Yeah. We had a lot of talk from the politicians that this is going to be safe and everything. That's got to make you feel good, I guess.
It does. And I really appreciate their assistance in this.
Yeah.
It's actually what they think is two entities coming together for one cause.
Right.
So that's the great thing about it.
What do you think about what's going on in Louisville?
Their voice and not their hands. You need to use that voice.
Yeah.
It's okay to be angry. Even the Bible tells us it's okay to be angry, but sin not. And so everything that's going on right now is just they're not being heard.
Do you feel that are you here in E-Town?
I am.
Have you been here for a while?
I have. Almost.
Do you feel that there's a racism issue here in Elizabethtown?
Okay, I will say that I'm sure it exists. Have I personally had anything to do with it? No.
Okay. Yeah. We just heard the mayor. He spoke very strongly about E-Town being unique.
Yes.
So maybe some other surrounding places can take an example of what's going on here, and that and bring us together and maybe get heard and get some actual change going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got something completely different.
Okay.
Are you going to vote this year?
I am, definitely.
Do you know of anyone, or do you see a problem with the new voter ID law for anybody you know, or people of color in general?
I don't see why it wouldn't be an issue for them to vote.
Also, hey, what is the names of your sons?
My son is William Powell.
William
Yeah.
Powell. Has he always been like this?
Yes, but I couldn't put put my finger on like what is it. Now I see what it is. Yes.
Cool. So growing up in school, was he always just outspoken, or what was the traits?
Yes, very outspoken. He always showed leadership. So yeah, very, very outspoken. He always needs to voice his opinions about things. So yes.
I really appreciate you for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So my thoughts on it, so far everything looks peaceful. I mean, they're just definitely trying to get their point across on what's going on.
People are angry, obviously. I mean, we've had 3 high-profile incidents fairly recently. One local that was earlier, but it's just finally getting some traction with Breonna Taylor.
Right.
But the thing with Amy Cooper in the park in New York and George Floyd recently, people are angry. I'm angry.
It's time for change. Something definitely needs to happen. That needs to be done.
Yeah.
What brings you out here?
I'm tired of the corruption that's going on in our government. It needs to stop. This is part of the problem. We're not all bad. I'm not saying that. There's too much corruption in all levels of government. We've got to get this stopped. We've got to say that.
Do you feel that this is a racism issue?
Part of it.
Part of it. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a massive part of it.
Okay.
But it's also more than that. When you have good people in government who try to blow the whistle on the corruption going on, and when your law enforcement does nothing about it, when you can't get a politician to support government whistleblowers, we're going to continue to fall as a country.
We hear about profiling New York City, stopping and frisking black kids for no reason. Do you think that's...
Bloomberg has come out saying specifically that he was doing that. That's a problem, that's an issue.
Yeah.
So if you're walking down the street and they think you're breaking the law because you look a certain way or presenting a certain aspect of anything.
So after you're harassed constantly, do you think that's maybe not an excuse, but a good reason to run after so many times?
I wouldn't say that's an excuse. Sometimes it can be, but taking to big cities, it's probably not an excuse.
We're out here with Will and Justin, and of course the movement that's behind us, and we're just going to get an idea of exactly what the feel is of what's going on out here.
Just peace and equality. It's equality. That's what it boils down to. Just equality. Everybody coming along, getting along. I mean, officers, it don't matter what color, what race, what gender, it doesn't matter. We just all need to get along.
That's why we brought the mayor out to bring everybody together.
Yes, you said you brought the mayor out.
Brought the mayor out, and he approves of everything. He's behind us 100%.
You all are from here. Do you all see racism as a big issue in Hardin County?
Yes, definitely. Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, yes, definitely.
How do you see it expressed?
Well, and secretly, tell my body language, even my body language.
Do you think that there's something that Louisville can take away from E-Town and kind of learn from, of maybe getting our point across and being heard, more so being heard than all the violence and destruction that's going on?
This is more about seeing everybody. If you can get a view of everybody, this is what brings everybody together. Doing this, making this movement, this is what this was for. We only did it we just made the event. This is what brought people out. Right. Everybody knows that unity is going to be the way forward, and racism is still here and it's alive today.
And that
we need to make something.
Something needs to change.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.